Rose, and today I'm going to tell my life. Here it goes. I was born in Massachusetts, 2008, on October 21st. I had one sister, one mom, and one dad, like an ordinary family. But you might not have a sibling, or two siblings, or seven siblings, or just like a brother or sister, or just one. Yeah. And my life when I was born was pretty hard. My dad and stepmom, they basically got divorced. So I basically saw my mother more than my dad. But whenever I would come back home from seeing mom, and I would go see my dad, me and my sister would look pretty mad, and I would usually have like red marks on my face. And I don't remember why, because I was only like just born. But eventually they got broken up for good. And that was pretty sad for my dad because he just wanted someone to hang out with. But then my dad got a career, and that meant me and my sister had to go to daycare. But I did not like when my dad left. So I would usually cry, and then my sister would slap me so I could stop crying. And then I would cry more. And basically every daycare we went into, we just got kicked out. And that was funny and silly at the same time. Eventually, we gave up on daycare, and I was spending time with my Nana a lot more. I'll tell you on how me and my Nana are so close, and I'll explain it all. Basically, usually at my dad dropped me and my sister off at my Nana's house one day, and we liked it there, and we weren't crying anymore, because even when we were babies, we were still really close to our Nana. Eventually, one day, my dad came back. Well, before that, my dad would visit us some days when he didn't have work, but one day he came, and he brought a woman named Jen, and they were dating, and that meant I didn't have to stay with Nana anymore, and that was sad because I still wanted to. We moved into her apartment, and it was small. Jen and Dad slept in the living room, and me and my sister slept in the same room, and yeah, but things were tough there. I had no one to play with because Luna was usually at school and Dad and Jen were working, so I was bored. Except for when my dad woke up from sleeping, and then I had something to do. We would usually watch movies, I would usually play on his phone, or I would just play with the toys that we had. And I sometimes made models, and I thought like a movie theater or something, and that was pretty fun. One day, I was all just sitting down watching a movie. I forget what it was, probably Jaws or something. And then I didn't even notice, but I got sent to Nana's house. But they didn't tell me why, because it wasn't the weekend. But this gave me a hint. I was reading a book one day. Well, probably not. I was probably just making action figures or something. And I saw them packing up, and that only meant one thing. We were moving. Because when I was getting picked up, Dad and Jen didn't come there. We came to their house. And it wasn't that apartment. It was this new house. It was cozy and a lot bigger than that apartment. I went upstairs to go see my room, and finally I had my own personal space. And the walls were yellow, my favorite color, and I saw my bed and my drawers with all my action figures and stuff, and it was awesome. At some time point, we got all our packed up, we threw all the boxes away, and we were all set. And that's when I extremely had no one to play with. But that changed fast. I started going to preschool, and I made tons of friends there. But my first friend I've ever made was Josh Miller. Joshua Miller is still my is still one of my best friends up to today, and he is awesome. Eventually, something started happening. Basically, Jen started bullying me. That's all I'm gonna say, okay? I can tell you later, but yeah, that started happening. And that was pretty sad, you know? Well, that's what it felt like to me. And yeah, my life was pretty sad then. But then, I started going to actual school. I was in Miss LaBelle's class, but when I entered the classroom, all I had in there was Josh. None of my other friends, like Andrew, and these two twins, and yeah. But that's when someone stepped in the classroom. Her name was Jadiana, and she looked at me, and I looked at her. We were destiny. And yeah, I'll get more on that later. So she sat next to me, and I introduced myself, and she introduced herself. And she told me her full name right off the bat, and I told her my full name right off the bat. And I'm not going to say her full name because it's private. And yeah, basically, we became best friends. And until we were in mostly every class. But in the middle of first grade, she kissed me. And I didn't know what to say, but I just rolled with it. And then me and her got together. Soon after, when second grade came, we were separated. But that wasn't going to stop our relationship. We hanged out every single day except when something happened. Something called the Wolf Pack came, and Jadiana joined it, and I couldn't because I was a boy. At that time, they didn't allow boys, and I never saw Jadiana anymore, and I was sad. Third grade came, and that was probably my hardest school year, and that was very sad. That was a sad year because one, Jadiana broke up with me, and then she got back together, and then broke up, and then, yeah. It was very complicated. But then she started dating someone else. His name was Brian. Brian is basically a jerk. And Brian, if you're watching this video, I'm being honest with you. So at school tomorrow, or if there is school tomorrow, you could punch me in the face. But I'm telling you that you are seriously a jerk. And I want to say something more, but I cannot say it. I'm going to spell it out. Motherfucker. Okay? Good. And yeah. But then they broke up. And then that's when it happened. Jadiana got together with me again. I started going to her house, and that was my first time to her house, and it was kind of like it was like 20% bigger than the apartment that I had, and it was awesome. That's when I realized Jadiana wasn't an only sibling. She was a sister, and she laid eyes on me. She had a crush on me. Well, at least I thought she did, because in fourth grade, at the beginning of the year, one day I went to Jadiana's house, and that is going to have to wait till next time. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, smash that like button in the face, and I'll see you guys next time. Look out for part 2. See you guys later. Bye, bros. Look out for part